Welcome! This is me playing as a summoner inside of Terraria. Believe it or not, this is my second take. My first take, I forgot to turn the microphone on. Yeah, lots of fun. That was 28 minutes that I lost. It's okay though. It's just I forgot to turn on the boom mic. Anyways, I'm gonna start off by saying, guys, thank you. We are almost at 500 subscribers, and that is the goal. I want to hit 500 subscribers before the end of the year. So every subscriber is appreciated. Every subscription is appreciated. Thank you guys so much. Also, shout out to my buddy Gabe from the Spontaneous channel. He gave me a shout out on his last video. Pretty good video. I recommend that if you guys like Disney or if you guys like Star Wars, go check out his channel. He does a lot of that stuff over there. And shout out to my friend. She also has two channels, 8face Shorts and 8face Games. Go check her out as well. Alright, let's get actually into the video. Let me explain a little bit about why I'm dying constantly. So after you die, and you have the gravestones, and you have it on grass, you can get a flower that summons Abigail the ghost. It's called Abigail's Flower, and that's the first summon weapon that I'm ever going to use. Haven't used any other weapon other than this. Well, I mean, I progress. Let me rephrase that. I progress in the weapons that I have, but this is the first weapon. I don't use any melee weapons to kill any mobs, except for that. And it's not even a melee weapon. It's a mage. It's a summoner. Not a mage. It's a summoner weapon. Man, this is going just as well as the first take. I swear, man, my first take was so horrible. This is a lot better, actually. But this is me creating a, sorry, I can't speak today. Storage area. Because I'm going to run out of a lot of storage, and I'm not very, I'm not very good at sorting out items. And I kind of need an area so that I can just put stuff so that your inventory doesn't get full, like in Minecraft. And then I went to the ice biome so that I could go and get some flinks first so that I could create the flink staff because that's the next weapon we'll be using because it's better than Abigail's Flower. And then after that I went to the jungle so that I could use the flinkses so that I could kill some of the, what are they called? Some of the hornets and whatnot to get stingers so that I could get the snap thorn, the whip, so that I can go and do not really melee damage, but I could do summoner damage instead of just having the flinkses and all my summons do damage. So I could feel like I'm helping out a little bit, even though I'm probably not. So, yeah, lots of fun playing as a summoner. Summoner so far is the most difficult, right? And I think that's what everybody says. Everybody says, "Oh yeah, summoner's the most difficult one to play Terraria as." They're not wrong. This is actually really difficult, and I didn't expect it to be this difficult. I'm not gonna lie. It was far, far more difficult than I had ever expected it to be. I was like, oh, it's gonna be kind of like the mage, where you don't have very good weapons at the start, but then the second you get into hard mode, you can go and you can get really good weapons. Nope, it's like you have some okay weapons at the start of the game, and then you have some okay weapons at the middle of the game, but after you defeat Moonlord, hey, you have some pretty good weapons. It's like, but why? Give me good weapons now, please. I haven't defeated the mechanical bosses yet because they're also super difficult, which is unusual. Usually I have the mechanical bosses before, well, I have to have them defeated before I post the first video. That way I have something that I can post next, so I don't have anything to post next after this. I'll figure something out to post after this, don't worry. But, yeah. Also, I'm glad that I had to restart because I forgot to say Happy Thanksgiving tomorrow. Happy Thanksgiving on the day of Thanksgiving, and Happy Thanksgiving in the past if you guys are watching this in the future. Thanksgiving is tomorrow on the 23rd of November 2023. I forgot what year we're in, and the month and the date. I'm clearly not paying attention to that stuff. Man, I'm too tired for this. But I gotta get this video done. Second take. I'm gonna be a lot more tired than I was on the first take. Oh, I'm super excited though, because even though summer is pretty difficult, it's a fun one, right? Because I decided that this was gonna be the playthrough where I go and I do builds. That way I can, get better at building houses and get better at building just in general, right? I watch some videos, get some tips on how to do cooler builds and whatnot. And I definitely tried to, sorry about that. I definitely tried to implement that into my builds. Because I want to do a bigger build on a separate world that is just like straight, huge builds. Just boom, build over there, boom, build over there, right? And it looks super cool, but first I gotta figure out how to make everything look cool. So I decided that's what I'm gonna do in this playthrough is learn how to build. Because I'm not very good at building apparently. I figured this out on my own, don't worry. You'll see. Some of the houses I make and whatnot are not that great. But, I don't know. I still think they look pretty good. Even though they're not the best. Kind of like how I'm going back to the one I did inside of the ice biome. Snow biome. I put a roof on it, and then I'm also going to add a chimney. Yeah, the chimney at the start didn't look pretty good. Didn't look good. And then the next one looked a lot better. So I'm like, alright, that's what I'll go with. You know, use the campfire so that I can have the smoke. I could probably have cobwebs be smoke, kind of like inside of Minecraft when you build like that. Which, in my first recording, I equated building in Minecraft to be easier because I like doing 3D modeling. Oh, that's right, I have Cthulhu fight now. Which wasn't too difficult, actually. Cthulhu is, I mean, it was pretty difficult, but I don't know. There were a few close calls, but my skillfulness and the fact that the nurse was inside the world helped out a lot. Anyways, building in Minecraft I feel is a little bit easier because I equate it to 3D modeling. You just go around inside of a 3D space and then you place stuff, you know, and then you make it look like house. And of course it's blocks, so you make it look like a blocky house. So that's how I equated the two, because Terraria, it's 2D. You have to be really good at pixel art. I'm not very good at pixel art. And then Minecraft, it's easier because it's 3D space, 3D modeling. That's just how I saw it. So that's what I did, and I'm like, okay, this works. I do die, but I also killed that Cthulhu at the same time. I was super happy about that. After that, I did Brain of Cthulhu. That way I could get the Deathbringer pickaxe so that I could go and get Hellstone, so that I could get the Hellstone pickaxe and the Imp Staff, which you'll see here in a little bit after this fight. Which, the Brain of Cthulhu fight was a lot easier than the Eye of Cthulhu fight, mainly because this is actually the first boss you're supposed to do, progression-wise. I don't follow the progression, because I'm so good at Terraria, so I'm like, nah, who needs progression when you have skills? Yeah, clearly. But I do win this fight. I feel like having the summoner and summoner items made this a lot easier to do, because then it was just, you know, you whip, and then the summon goes to the right one, and it's like, this is the real one, you're hitting the fake one. It's like, oh, thanks, man. So it's kind of cool. It's a nice little tip that your summons give you. So here I am with the obsidian skin so that I could go and get a lot of hellstone so that I can go and create those things. I was going to talk about something, shoot. Oh, so after Terraria, I think I know what I want to do. I've been playing a little bit of Stardew Valley. I have about 20 hours into it now, and I've had it for a little over a week. And I figured out how to make money really quickly, and, you know, I kind of figured it out a little bit. That's kind of why this has taken a lot longer, is because I'm like, well, a buddy of mine plays Stardew Valley. I'll play Stardew Valley. I want to learn a little bit more about Stardew Valley. It looks like a lot of fun, and I want to see if I can break it. Because, I don't know, it looked like one of those games you could break. And, you know, I was like, yeah, you know what, I want to see if I can break it. Figured it out, and I broke it, and I'm pretty happy about it. I'm like, alright, cool. Now I just gotta go and make a video about how I broke it, and how you can break it too. So, that'll probably be what happens after the Terraria stuff. And then after that, I don't know, I think I'll have to find something else to break, or something else to give tips in. But Terraria first. I have to do Terraria videos first, because that's what is currently what I'm working on, I guess. Like, that's the only way to put it, is that's what I'm currently working on. I found out that one of the best armor sets to have is the Obsidian armor, which gives you extra summons and gives you more summon damage, I believe. So, got that, and apparently it's the best armor until after the mechanical bosses, which I don't believe, but it's what I've been told. So I'm gonna not have it the whole time, and you'll see that when we get closer to the Eye of Cthulhu fight. Not Eye of Cthulhu, jeez. What's his name? Wall of Flesh fight. The closer we get to the Wall of Flesh fight, you'll see that the armor does change. Because it gets to a better armor. It's just, you know, because Terraria, you have armors that do specific things, and then you have armors that are just the upgrades of current armors. And Obsidian armor is actually kind of the best. It's like the only armor that you don't really need to upgrade past until after the Eye of Cthulhu fight. Nah, jeez, what is... No, the mechanical fight. Why am I on Eye of Cthulhu? I'm sorry, guys. I'm too tired for this, but I'm going to continue. So, the goblin army spawned, and I was trying to make it so that I would be like an automatic death trap where they go and they run inside, they get stuck inside the wall, and then they die in lava, but I could not do that successfully. I mean, it did work for a little bit, but, you know, they kind of shoot stuff at you and don't really have a lot of time to just go and smack it out of the way. Especially when they're shooting like 5 at a time. It's like, okay, please stop. So, this was a fun little mini fight. I found out it gets worse when you get into actual, like, hard mode goblin army fight. That is horrible. So, yeah, they don't give you any summon items, so it's not worth doing it really, but, you know, kind of had to do it so that I could go and, progress, because it spawned on its own. The only one that I have done on purpose and summoned on purpose is Pirate Army, because that one gives you a summon item. I have this in here because my imps are kind of stupid, and you'll see one of my imps decides, oh hey, this is the perfect time to spawn Queen Bee. I was not ready for it. I was not ready for this fight, and you'll see that. It's quite obvious, because, you know, I die. Because I'm not good. I'm not good at this, apparently. Only because, thanks to my imp destroying the larva, kind of was... I don't want to say like a suicide mission, but it was very much, you're got a 100% chance of losing. Yeah, I didn't have any buffs on me, I didn't have any potions so that I could survive. Nah. But it's okay. I was like, alright, I'll just have to go and find another one then. Which I eventually do, and then I just make a bunch of summons for Queen Bee, because I'm like, okay, I don't want to go and find another hive, I'll just summon her inside of the same hive. But, yep, I did die, because... I don't know. I didn't have an area set up, which was unfortunate. And then I went and I built inside of the desert so that I could get a desert pylon, because a buddy of mine was talking about pylons and how they're so good. I'm like, oh, okay. I guess I'll do pylons then. I should have continued to do what I usually do, which is use what are they called? Teleporters. Because teleporters, they don't crap out on you when something gets corrupted. Unlike pylons, as soon as a biome gets corrupted, you can no longer use that pylon because it's no longer in that actual area. And it kind of stinks, but it's fine. I think that I'm not going to ever use pylons again. I think this is the only world that I'm ever going to use pylons in, because teleporters are just superior, in my opinion. But now it's like, okay, cool. You have the pylons, which, if you're near NPCs, you can place down a pylon and then you can teleport to specific biomes, whereas you could just set up teleportation area and be like, okay, this goes all the way down to underground, this goes all the way to Sky Island, somewhere up in the sky, this goes to a farm, this one goes to a farm, this one goes to a farm, this one goes over to this biome, this one goes to that biome. Like, you can just set up a teleporter hub that is connected all in the same spot, all in one area, but it takes you to different places with different teleporters. I feel like that's a lot smarter than having to decorrupt an entire area so that a pylon works. I would so much rather just have teleporters, because it feels easier, you know? And that makes it sound like I'm too lazy to go and fix the area. I'm going to fix the area because I need to, so that the pylon works, and I'm using pylons in this world. But I would just much rather deal with spending tons of platinum and gold inside of a game than, you know, having to go and do a lot more work. Because then I can have all my NPCs in one spot, even though they don't like it. I can have them all in one spot, and they give me the items I need them to. You know, I don't know. I like having the NPCs in one central area, kind of like a mall. So it's like, okay, you're selling this, you're selling that. I need this. You don't have that, you know? I know some items are specific to biome, kind of like how the Witch Doctor only gives you wings and the imbuing station and whatnot if he's inside of the jungle biome. But I would much rather teleporters. Oh, so for the desert house, I decided that it's going to be a little more like a modern house. I know I don't have any paint yet, but I paint it so that it's a little bit more like a modern house. Because where I live, we have modern houses that are kind of more in your deserty areas. Guys, it's 10 o'clock in the morning. Okay. I'm tired. This is the weekend. I want to go back to bed, but I need to finish this video. But in our deserty areas of where we live, we have more modern looking houses, in my opinion. You do have modern houses that are not in those deserty areas, but that's where I've seen the most modern-y looking houses. And I guess it's more modern colors, not even really a modern look, because they all look the same in Terraria. But yeah, at least with the what's it called? I can't think of what it's called. The roof. Jeez Louise. Oh, I'm struggling, guys. At least with the roof, it does look a little bit more modern. And this is kind of like my practice before my big builds, like I was talking about. Because I do want to have bigger, cooler builds, but I first have to figure out how to make cool-looking houses so that I can have cool houses for NPCs inside of the big world that has all that stuff. And man, I already explained all this, and I forgot to turn on the mic. Gosh dang it. I don't know how to explain this again. I did it so well the first time, and then I kind of like blanked out. Oh, so I decided that I couldn't beat the Queen Bee, so like in all of my other videos that I have of me playing Terraria, I go straight for Skeletron next. And as we know, unless you're super good at the game like I am sometimes, yeah, you're not doing that. You're not gonna beat Skeletron before Queen Bee. I mean, I'm sure people could do it, but I'm not skilled enough to do that. I personally am not skilled enough to do it. But I almost did, but just having some of the Queen Bee drops are so good. Like having the Beekeeper helps sometimes. Bee Armor, which is what's gonna help me on my Skeletron fight. And then the yo-yo inside of the melee video. What did I do for the mage? I had something from Queen Bee for the mage. I can't remember what it was. But went and fought Skeletron again, and this one sped up because this one sped up faster because I lose. But the potions did help a lot. I'm not gonna lie, they do help a lot, and that's why I like fishing, is because then I get stuff for potions, and it's very peaceful, even though, you know, supposedly no Terraria player likes fishing. It does get tedious, but it's worth it. You know, I think I'd rather sit there and be just ever so slightly bored for a little bit, and, you know, get good items than not have good items. But I do the Queen Bee fight again because I need the Queen Bee armor so that I can have more, what are they called? More minions. And then I'm gonna have to fight it again that I don't put in here. Because I need the Bee Staff. And that's for the, no, not the Eye of Cthulhu fight. I already fought the Eye of Cthulhu. Jeez, guys, I don't know why I have Eye of Cthulhu stuck as the boss that I'm fighting. Oh yes, after hard mode, who do you fight? Eye of Cthulhu. After Eye of Cthulhu, who do you fight? Eye of Cthulhu. After you defeat Planetaria, who do you fight? Eye of Cthulhu. Everything's just Eye of Cthulhu. That would be funny, actually. My ranger playthrough, just everything looks like the Eye of Cthulhu. That would be kind of funny. I think I might do that just because I'm like, yeah, that's kind of funny. Play this out of T-Mod loader, and then put a mod on there so that everything looks like Eye of Cthulhu. All of the bosses look like Eye of Cthulhu. That would be kind of funny. I'm not gonna lie. But probably not. I would do it. Might do it for a short, but yeah, I'm probably not gonna do that for the full playthrough, especially because then it'll get boring after a little bit. Because like, oh, it's I Cthulhu again. Oh my gosh, give me somebody new. But yeah, Queen Bee was a hard fight, and I think it's definitely a fight that made me realize, okay, you've been playing this for such a long time, and you should already know that mobility is one of the most important things you can have when fighting. But I feel like Queen Bee just reminded me, by the way, mobility, you need mobility. And I'm like, that's right. So, definitely helped me with my remembering for when I go and do my Skeletron fight. And Skeletron fight was actually really good. I did some research and found out that after you get rid of the hands, and you have just the head left, you stay under the head so that when he goes and he shoots down the skulls, you just dash out of the way of them. And I do so-so at it. I'm not going to say I do really good at it because there are some that I just dodge right into. I'm like, oh yes, a skull. Not what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to dodge away from them, not into them. But yeah, I can't believe I didn't get caught in that, in his head spin of death, because I got hit by the hand, which knocked me back into his head, which shot me forward a little bit. I'm like, okay, yes, thank you for not killing me, because I don't have more potions so that I can kill this guy again. I don't have the potions for it, because farming for potions was difficult. And you'll see that when I do my Wall of Flesh fight, I had to go and farm for the materials for the Wall of Flesh fight, which was a lot of fun. Sitting there, doing nothing, as I keep dying to these stupid imps because, yeah. Anyways, I'll stop talking about that. After I am done fighting Skeletron, the first thing I go and I get is the Cobalt Shield, because it gives you knockback immunity. Not knockback immunity. Clearly, I am speaking perfectly, right? Enunciating all of my words. Gives you knockback immunity. That way, when you get hit, you don't go flying. I'm gonna say with Wall of Flesh, it does not work. At least, I don't think it does, because I've been hit so many times by that guy, and I go flying, and I'm like, okay, cool, it works totally. But also, guys, for anybody who doesn't know, I created a game. I finished it. It's pretty bad. I sent it to my buddy Gabe. Hopefully, he'll play it and critique it. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know if he will. You know, because I don't know how busy Gabe is. I mean, we both work at jobs, so I know that sometimes it gets a little bit crazy, especially with having what is it called? Like set schedules. The nice thing about the place that I work is we don't have a set schedule. You come in every day. So I'm working pretty much every day. Whereas some people have set schedules, like my buddy Carson has set schedules when where he works, and they're like, oh, you come in on this day, you come in on this day, you come on this day you're not working. You know, I think Gabe has the same thing where it's like, oh, hey, you go and you work this day, but not this day. It's like, okay. Whereas it's like, hey, Michael, you're coming in today, right? Like, yeah, coming in. Like, great, cool. Just don't forget you need to be here. Like, all right, cool. I make quite a bit from it, but you know, it's like I need the break, especially when it comes to school, because I'm getting a little behind on school. I'm not gonna lie. So that's why it's also taking forever for this video to get put out, is because I'm finally to a spot where I can take a quick break from schoolwork and just be like, all right, I have enough time to go and still do these things. So after this, it's probably gonna be a nap and then schoolwork, because I need a nap. Clearly. But I couldn't find another voodoo demon to get a voodoo doll, so I just killed the guy in cold blood and was like, yeah, we're chilling, dude. Clearly. Yeah, sorry, guide. So I changed up my tactic in the last one. I had the imps. This time I have the bees, because they do poison damage, because poison damage actually affects the Wall of Flesh, not fire. Fire does not. Like, I can do damage with the little fire ring around me, but it doesn't do a fire debuff, so it's not going to be, like, constantly on fire, kind of like the Hungry are. The Hungry are always on fire when they hit the fire thing. It's like, oh, yeah, I'm on fire. Ouch. That burns. You know? It's kind of interesting, because I would have expected the Hungry to also not be fireproof, because they spawn here in the underground, the underworld. the hell biome, you know. But I guess that not, because I was talking to Solace, and Solace gave me the idea, and told me, actually he told me, that I needed to use the bees because they do poison damage, so you're constantly doing damage even when you're not attacking. And I'm like, okay, you know, that's a fair point. So thank you, Solace. Solace has always been super helpful when it comes to doing these videos and whatnot. He's like, here's a tip for you. I'm like, thank you. It's like, let me give you a tip. I'm like, oh, thanks, man. You know? So, thank you, Solace. I don't know if he watches the Terraria videos. I know he likes Fallout videos, and I haven't made a Fallout video in 5 ever. But, yeah, Solace is probably still waiting for Fallout videos. I don't know. I might go back to Fallout. I might not go back to Fallout. I personally am like, you know, it's just not my cup of tea.